I have special powers. I am the master. That's what Jonathan, my 3-year-old son, said whenever he climbed up a rock. He was invincible. He could do anything. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, toddlers don't need lessons in enthusiasm or imagination. Have you ever seen a motivational seminar for 3-year-olds? Of course not. But what happens to us as we grow up? We conform, we obey, we fit in, until one day that world-conquering 3-year-old sits in a grey cubicle using none of his special powers. To rediscover our unique talents, we have to be more childish. Now, I don't mean stop listening to me and throw a tantrum. I mean, be more childish, because a childish imagination can conquer anything. But sadly, when it comes to imagination and creativity, I would argue that an adult is not even half a 3-year-old. I mean, hands up if on the way here today you defeated a deadly dinosaur. As a parent of young children, you have to be prepared for anything. But still, I wasn't ready for the day that Jonathan first came to me and used offensive language. Can you guess what he said? Daddy, adults don't have ideas. Only children have ideas. Wow! How can a toddler have dismissed the imagination of every adult in the whole world? Is it because when he has show and tell at school, I'm embarrassed that out of all his toys, he wants to take in Snakey, the screwed up old shopping receipt? I once told his teacher we do have real toys at home. I feared her judgment more than I valued my son's creativity. Have you ever stopped yourself from putting forward an idea because you feared being judged by others? Next time, be more childish. Anyhow, this is just a cheap replica. They don't make them like they used to. Speaking of trash, you've all seen the kid who prefers the cardboard box to the expensive toy that comes inside it. And it's obvious why. The expensive toy has one function. But the cardboard box is an amazing world of imagination and adventure. As adults, we're always told to think outside the box. But children do their thinking inside the box. So what gives you inspiration? What's your cardboard box? Maybe it's at work. Have you pimped your cubicle or given it a feng shui makeover? After all, if anything is possible, what would a childish workplace look like? Surely there'd be no dress code. Consider this noose around our necks. The tie was invented at the same time that the Pilgrims came to America to found Toastmasters. Why are we still wearing it? Even the suit in its modern form is 200 years old. Isn't it time we got rid of this straitjacket? Fellow Toastmasters, I could go on. But it wouldn't be right. Do you remember learning about right and wrong? As a kid, when I was growing up, I always took the sensible right decision over the childish wrong decision. I studied hard. I went to a world-famous university. I became a successful lawyer in 2 countries. On paper, it was perfect. But somewhere along the way, I lost my passion. It took me 12 years to become childish again. I swapped the courtroom for the classroom, and I became a second grade teacher. At last, I felt alive. And the world lost a lawyer. Win-win. But I know what you're thinking. I can't change my life like that. Whenever I say no, Jasmine, to my 2-year-old daughter, she says, "But, Daddy, you're breaking my idea." I love the imagery of that phrase. And she's right, because saying no or having doubts is crushing creativity. But childish minds allow children to solve problems in ways we can't imagine. Recently, Jonathan started being afraid of death. But he thought about it, and then he came to me one morning, and he said, "Don't worry, Daddy. When you die, you go to Jupiter where there's all the chocolate you can eat." What's the biggest problem facing you right now? Jonathan were here. He'd tell you. Stand on it and say, "I am the master." You have special powers. What would you do if you could be more childish?